a group of people, and the generation is rapidly on display that is mentally distant from learning, emotionally indifferent to learning, and intellectually disengaged. That's the reality we have scattered across our boardrooms, our churches, our places of worship, and assemblies. There is a chunk of people who, by the sound bites of social media, by the little bit of articles that they have on display, have deprived themselves or are already deprived of that immersive experience in books. And so, statistically, an average Nigerian, according to the World Culture Sport Index of 2023, reveals that an average Nigerian will only spend 30 minutes in a week reading, as opposed to the Indian counterpart, who averages 10.7 hours weekly. That means that it's troublesome. Because when you see the borders of knowledge and how it works, you will realize that a dead mind will obviously dead ideas, and dead ideas cannot affect a living nation. And so that's the reality we find ourselves. According to the National Library of Nigeria, over 40,000 books have been published in the last 7 years. So in the real sense of it, our authors are writing, I am writing, you are writing, our printers are printing, but we are not reading. And that in itself reveals the shape of the environment we found ourselves. And so my session seeks to expand on the idea that regardless of the fact that there's a deficiency, what I seek to call the off-is dichotomy. Because what ought to be is no longer what is. And we are making to do with that dichotomy after all. So we are experiencing a social dilemma, a deprivation of a generation of an immersive experience with the world, this ageless, priceless privilege to interface with the wisdom of the ages. And so someone sees a book as a sedative rather than a blessing. Someone looks at the book as what he consults, probably when he wants to add color to his looks, as a piece of decorative material, a piece of aesthetics. And so when somebody feels less confident because he wants to see a superior, he hangs a book on his hand as to balance his confidence. But books are not pieces of decorative material. They do not provide only aesthetic appeal and aesthetic value. Books offer us that privilege to live 9 lives and live multiple lives. It is in that case that we are not truly dead. So what's the solution? In 2021, I began an expansive study on the theory of learning. And I met a man, Albert Burunda, that's it. And he refused that the whole idea of learning is going to be more successful through emulation than instruction. And so in profiling solution of culture shaping and culture shifting, there would be a need for a rise of strong models. In fact, in the cybersecurity space, it is revealed that organizations that have cybersecurity models will 70% be more compliant to standards. And so the presence of models, strong models, will now become the basis upon which we can fully say we are attempting to influence the situation. I know that's complex, and I'm going to attempt to break it down. So what I'm saying in essence, we need mothers who read and children who emulate. We need fathers who read and children who emulate. We need leaders who read and followers that emulate. We need a group of employees who read and their colleagues who also emulate. I started it like a joke when this year, I'm going to 5 years, 13 years, I read to one of us. Right? If I say I read 106 books last year, it's not cliche. And I do not read necessarily because of the focus of the numbers. I read with the consciousness that a man who reads multiple books cannot be at the mercy of the one who thinks he's just reading for the numbers. So it is that consciousness that drives me that how much is truly enough. How much do I need? What is the knowledge requirement to advance the cost of my vision? What is the knowledge requirement to bring expansion to the things I currently do? What is required of me as cutting the borders of knowledge? That's why I believe that there's knowledge in the teeth of a tiger. I will dig it. And that must be a consciousness one we sustain. Because as I look at our faces today, our life is a reflection of what we know or don't know, what we do or don't do, and who we know or don't know. So the knowledge and the action of the people today is basically what gives a report card and a reflection of where we are at the moment. That consciousness is why I believe my session should inspire you to solve the problem of one of those critical domains if you truly will be successful. So by emulation, by emulation, by hanging around people like minded communities. That's what we do at Irene, who provide not just wisdom but support, accountability structure that helps you to believe that these things are possibility. Let me give you an example. I had a friend, a love interest at the time. And by the time I met the person, she had only read 0 books in the previous year. By the time the year had ended, she had done 71 books. Because there was a reader who read and how simply admitted. In short, we must realize that it is only readers who truly live, and dead men don't read books. Thank you so much.